If you hear this while you're driving, then you likely need stabilizer links. In this video, I'm gonna show y'all how to replace them, the tools y'all need, and we just gonna get straight into it. So, of course, you're gonna need your tools to take off the wheel. Now, I recommend you get a breaker bar. Stop using those like short ass fucking like booty ass wrenches. Like, you get no leverage. The name of the game is leverage. The longer it is, the easier it'll be to break off the lug nuts, or else you'll be stuck like how everybody else be doing it. Now, if you got the breaker bar, of course you're gonna need the socket to take the lug nuts off. So I recommend you getting what's called a flip socket. It's a 21 on one side and a 19 on the other. Those are the two most common sizes. Now, if you got maybe like a European car, or a German car, you may have 17 millimeter lug nuts, like me. This is a 2011 Volkswagen. Or if you got like a SUV, a truck, you may have a 21 millimeter or a 22 millimeter socket. It'd be very easy to like match it up or look on Google what you have. But I promise you, it's worth it. Stop using that old ass shit. Next, you're gonna need a 3/8 socket set. 3/8 because I want you to get a 3/8 long extended ratchet. Now, you can get those tools all from Harbor Freight. They're more affordable, and they actually are like quality tools. And you get the warranty on them, so if you're worried about them breaking later down the line, you can just swap them out. It's really worth it. And depending on your vehicle, you're gonna need like a Torx bit set socket set or an Allen key socket set. They look like this. But the way I'm showing y'all is gonna be like the generic way to change stabilizer link. So this is for any vehicle, same procedure. And then get you like a basic wrench set. You want it to be, again, long and extended. You don't want no short wrench because you won't be able to break anything free. The longer the better. Again, you can get them from Harbor Freight, or you can get them really from Home Depot, but you need you a wrench. And before I forget, the other thing you need for this job, some penetrating oil. You'll need some penetrating oil because, again, like, we in Cleveland, like, you're gonna probably have some rusty nuts. You're gonna want to break up the rest with the penetrating oil. Worst come to worst, you might also need a torch. Like, sometimes, like, to keep it 100, like, they just be on there tight. The heat to break up the rust, and it just helps. Almost forgot, you're gonna need some locking pliers as well. Get you a mini jack, worth every cent. Do not use those turning little jacks that that comes with every vehicle, because first of all, you might not even have that in your car, and again, it just takes so much longer. Like, if you're on the side of the road, you're not trying to be doing all that. Like, when you work in a car, you want to make your job more efficient and faster, easier, while of course still making sure everything right. But get you a jack, a mini jack, not no crazy 2-ton jack. Get you a mini jack, inexpensive, quality, worth it. Get you some jack stands, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you got a jack, you need jack stands. Like, you can't just leave it jacked up with the jack only, because if it slip off, let's say you want to incline a hill, or if it just slip off in general, and your feet under there, your legs under there, you know what I mean, you're gonna be handicapped. So yeah. But the really, really main thing you need, for sure, a good mindset. Aww. You can do it, like, as long as you got patience, as long as you're resilient, like, and you got the right tools, you can get the job done yourself. You know what I mean? Without having to have somebody pay for it, you know. But if you don't, you gotta feel like and know that you can do it. So you jack it up, you want to jack it up on solid points, frame, solid metal. If you got an old, rusty, crusty vehicle, don't even try it. So I jacked it up right there where you see that silver bolt, and I put my jack stands on that pinch weld. Let's break these lugs. Just look how easy this is, man. And of course, I'm gonna use all hand tools so y'all can do this yourselves. Just know when I'm on a job, I ain't using no hand tools, boy, at all. Now, once you get the tires off, here's the stabilizer link right here. Like I said, you're gonna want to spray up right this nut and the bottom one. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I don't have the star socket. I have this. These are like spline, so it's a little bit more. Now, the crazy part is I actually did end up having this socket, and I ended up using it. But if you're wondering, it looks like this. All right, so my nut is at 18 millimeter. So this is where that long wrench comes into play, because if you had a short one, you would not be able to break this free, I guarantee you. So mine's a little bit longer. I'm gonna break this free and do the bottom one. Very simple. But as you can see, the reason why you need the locking pliers is because that stud is going to keep spinning with the nut. The problem is this has to stop spinning for this nut to come off. So the way you get that off, you're either gonna use the locking pliers to hold it from the back, or you're gonna use your ratchet and your socket, whether it's the spline, whether it's the Torx, whether it's the Allen, and you're gonna put it in there to hold it to get the nut off. Easier shown than done, but you're gonna put the socket in there and then just turn the wrench. You want to hold this ratchet. You don't want it to be stationary, so turn the wrench, turn the nut, hold the ratchet, and it'll hold that stud and spin off the nut. I did switch to a shorter ratchet so I had more control, but this is essentially what you're doing. I find this is the easiest method. Very much so easier to turn the wrench than it is to turn the ratchet, because the ratchet and the socket itself can strip out the stud. But this is all you're doing. Now let's say that this stud, let's say that strips out, or let's say you just can't get the nut off that way. The locking pliers are supposed to lock onto a spot like right here, and that'll hold the stud from the back end. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, like, the stud has a little ball or like a small plate that you can hold with the channel locks, with the locking pliers, and clamp it down to hold it from the back end and just spin and spin the nut off. So that's the other method. Now this is what it's gonna look like. Now you gotta just make sure that you're actually clamping on it, because if you're not, then it won't turn. So, you know, if it still turns while you're actually clamped on the spot you're supposed to be on, then you just have to turn this to the right, and that'll lock it tighter. It's a really like simple mechanism, but like I said, the first way is the easier way, and this way is a bit more like you gotta be patient with it, but it worked all the time. That is, so if I can show you what I'm talking about. This spins like with that ball inside there. It's like a ball and socket, like your arm. So with the channel locks, what you want to clamp down on is like this joint in here, and stop it from spin. Like, that'll stop it from spinning because you're holding it from like turning, and it'll keep the nut spinning, if that makes sense. But essentially with the bottom, you're gonna do the same thing, and this way I'll show y'all how to do it with the channel lock, so that way y'all got both methods. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of pull back this rubber, and you can cut it if you want to. It'll be easier to see. Get out of here. There we go. It'll be easier to see. Hey, look how exposed it is now, so it's gonna be a whole lot easier to see what you're clamping on. First, before anything, we're gonna break the nut free. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Golly, boy. Oof. Alright, so now that that's turning, channel locks. Well, that's how it's locked. So now when you lock, you just gotta try it. Like sometimes it still spins. Okay, turn in a little bit. God damn it. Alright, so I got it clamped down in a good spot. So boom, this is where you get it at, man. Now on the install, you don't exactly have to do the same thing. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? If you're lucky, you're just able to turn it, like turn the nut, you know, spin the nut on, and you'll be able to tighten it. Now, of course, you want to make sure it's the right orientation. You know what I mean? Like when you're taking it off, make sure it's the exact same. Like make sure you're putting it back on the same way it came off. Screw the nut on righty tighty like Lucy. Put that in. Sometimes you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, push the. Ooh. All right, so it's tight, and this is important because this is where it can strip. You don't want to over tighten it and you know crank it. You want to slowly just turn it. So you can see it's already kind of, you know, wanting to do that. So you good like that. I like to actually tighten it and make sure it's really tight with the wrench. That way I don't strip it with the ratchet. So just do it like that. And you don't have to hold the ratchet because it's lodged right there. But it's tight. We're gonna do the same thing with the bottom. Yeah, man, this works. Like I said, as long as you got the right tools and you got the patience, bro, you can get this done on any car. If you feel like this was valuable information for y'all, like, man, share, repost, like interact with it. You know what I'm saying? Comment, let me know that you like it, because I don't mind, as a mechanic, I don't mind showing y'all how to do certain repairs. You know what I mean? Like, y'all get this valuable information, it's good. It's good for me too. So y'all share with a friend, like, and stay road ready.